What is up? Get off my face. Thank you. Anyways, what is up? It is me, Rain for Rain Plays Games, and welcome to my very own top 10 scary, spooky Halloween video games. So this is basically my very own top 10, and all the picks that I am going to be saying are actually based off my opinion. I am going to be excluding the ones that are just basically a specific level of a video game, or ones that are basically in a mode of a video game. So those will not be included in this list. Sorry about that, Call of Duty, for all your zombies, and sorry, Bully, but your Halloween level is not going to be included. So basically all of the games that I will be talking about are actually games that I have played. And there's going to be like some that you will be surprised that I have played but have not actually showcased yet. But there are some games that I won't talk about that you are surprised is not on this list. Because remember, this is actually based off my opinion. So we're going to start it off. Number 10. To begin this list, I am actually picking this as my number 10. It is the recently released Phasmaphobia. This PC game has been out for quite a while. I forgot the release date of when specifically this has been released, but it's been on early access at the moment. I put it at number 10 because it's very recent indeed. It would feel how do you say it? It would feel nitpicking if I actually put that way more, close to number 5 or something. So the reason why that I am putting it in number 10 is because it is basically very new. So about this game very much is you are basically acting like I guess you could kind of say ghost hunting type detectives, and you are basically trying to find spirits, ghosts, some other stuff and whatnot. This game is mainly for players for VR, but you do have the option to actually do it with keyboard and mouse, which of course is basically what I have to be stuck with for the moment. That's right, for the moment. I had my fun with this game, and I gotta say, it's actually really, really scary the first time that I had played it, and I still get scared from time to time of when some stuff will pop up, or when I'm basically either being killed or whatnot. It's that creepy and scary and all that. So with this being at number 10, it feels like it's good starting placement for that, but then possibly months later or maybe a year later, it might be in a better position than it is right now. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 will actually be the Friday the 13th video game. Now this game has been released since 2017, and I gotta say, when it was first announced and then released, it really had high hopes for it, and indeed it did. However, from the time it started, we couldn't really get much of online experience unless if you actually, let's say on Xbox, you basically make a request invite for some people that are randomly playing it and they want to join in and whatnot. That's basically how you would have to start it before every single patch had to start up and everything. And after when the patch actually finally got released and actually, it finally got us to do online, I had absolute thrills with it. I had the most fun with that ever since. But the reason why that I'm putting it at number 9 right now, because of how the recent years went by, it's been actually not that good at the moment. It's like one of those it's like one of those games that had very high health and then slowly going down. Recently, there has been already a solo player thing, but you're only playing as Jason, which I could understand. It's like you most likely want to be as the killer many of the times. And they actually put out ones that are from the movies as missions as Jason, which of course brings a little bit of a challenge and stuff. But after all that, because most people still play it online, it gets like one of those days that it doesn't work that well. Like, people will keep on disconnecting. People would actually be so buggy in there. It would be so glitchy that you have no choice but to actually switch to a different game, which has happened to me from time to time. So this is why this is at number 9.
Number 8.
Coming in at number 8 is actually one of the most OG type games out there, and that would be Slenderman, which right now the title of the original game is actually entitled Slender, the 8 Pages. So ever since Slenderman has actually been released back then in 2012, it's been one of the most scariest experiences ever for PC players. I did actually have my chance to play it at one of my cousin's places when he had it on his computer during the time. And I gotta say, it was definitely one of the most trickiest, scariest games that I have ever played. And to this day, that game is still like one of the most scariest ones. Even though there has been later releases of different Slenderman games, but the one that I am mostly talking about is the original one. Even with the title of it now is actually a little bit different, we will still remember it as just Slenderman. So this is why this is going in number 8.
Number 7.
For number 7, I have actually decided to go with a game that I had so much fun with as a child that I still play today. It was actually a tough decision between this one and another one, but the one that I went with is basically ScoobyDoo Night of 100 Frights. So this game, I had a tough decision of picking between this game or Scooby-Doo Showdown in Ghost Town. Now, Showdown in Ghost Town was actually a CD-ROM PC game. As for Night of 100 Frights, it was actually released on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. Now, when I actually was thinking which one did I actually enjoy more, it was actually Night of 100 Frights. And I could still play through that and still enjoy it. It has some of those like random scare moments for something small, and a lot of stuff, because it has the feeling like if it is a Halloween type game, it's just more, like ghost searching. Actually not much of ghost searching, because Scooby-Doo has to quickly defeat most of the monsters, ghosts that are basically right in front of him, with 3 other main ghosts before the final boss, which of course the final boss is the mastermind. And out of all of the Scooby-Doo games that I could really think about that is actually fun and whatnot, and actually gives spooks, would actually be that one. So that's why that's going to be in my number 7.
Number 6.
For number 6, I also went with another original game, another OG game, as most of you would actually say. I went with Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, even though that Five Nights at Freddy's have actually had more and more as the years go by, I'm talking about the original Five Nights at Freddy's, because the scenery was just basically what it was at. You're basically in this like one small security room, just checking on cameras, turning on lights in case if you see like some strange activities going on and stuff. But really what's actually happening, of course, the animatronics are trying to actually scare you out or possibly kill you. Or who knows what's likely going to happen, of course. So it was actually like one of scary experiences out there because it's like, even though are some parts that you don't really get scared much, where like Freddys like kind of at the side and it's just like flashing with like some creepy music before he actually goes more up in your face. I prefer more being scared of like after putting the camera down, it's just right there in front of your face instead of being on the side with the creepy music and stuff, because you know it's game over whenever that happens. But ever since I'm thinking that it's better off to have it immediately, it brings more of a scare for the game than just waiting for it to happen. So that's why that game is actually going to be in my number 6.
Number 5.
For number 5, I choose... Nope. Scary Maze. I'm kidding. It's not that. No. No, that doesn't really qualify as a game, as it is more like a website. But the game that I'm actually choosing for number 5 is Outlast. Outlast is actually one of the most scariest games that I've ever played on the Xbox One. And ever since I actually did that, I was like, okay, I just hope that the sequel will actually do good or great as Outlast 1 did.
Number 4.
For number 4, I chose one of the original launch title games for the Xbox One, which is Dead Rising 3. The beat 'em up open world environment of a zombie slasher type game is like something that most people do want to actually enjoy and stuff. It's been one of the most hectic type of games out there that involves basically killing zombies, helping you and your friends escape, while also like getting involved with some people that is like strangers or whatnot, or basically those that are trying to kill you. But ever since I actually played that, I actually been playing more of it, and it's actually still fun to this day. I like the challenge stuff that they keep on doing, and it's like more and more challenges do come along the way that you're just like, man, I wonder if I could actually complete it all and then do everything basically the right way, which is basically what I'm actually trying to do. And even I'm trying to do the DLC of it, and it's been like a mix for the DLC, but I still enjoy it. But either way, it's still one of the most fun, scary type games, even though it's not really that scary, but it still fits to the category. So for that, I basically put that as my number 4.
Number 3.
For number 3, we finally got ourselves into a Nintendo game, which is Luigi's Mansion. This is actually one of those games that has that feeling like if it was Ghostbusters mixed with Haunted Mansion, but possibly the same, I guess. So finally, Luigi gets his own... Well, actually, no, he didn't finally get his own game, because the first ever game that mainly starred him was Mario is Missing. But it's one of the first games that mainly But it's one of the first games that is mainly having Luigi in the title instead of Mario, which I'm happy about. So Luigi finally actually getting his own main game, which is basically this, because it already had up to 2 other sequels. So, what is it about Luigi's Mansion? Well, he finally goes into, like, this mansion that is basically haunted by ghosts. So, he's basically ghost hunting, and he's afraid, of course. Like, who else would be scared of a haunted house? Because it's, like, filled with haunted ghosts and stuff. Which is basically what it is. So, Luigi basically got this ghost vacuum, just like I just mentioned, Ghostbusters. There you go. But other than that, it's like one of the games that is actually a fun adventure game while collecting ghosts and whatnot. And it's like, it's been one of the games that I want to actually get back into playing. I could actually think of playing that right now if I have to. But either way, it's really one of the most fun ghost hunting games out there for a Nintendo game. So for that, I put that as my number 3.
Number 2!
For number 2, I actually went with Dead by Daylight. It is one of the greatest online cross-platforming games that I have ever played. Ever. And it's actually really fun as both. You can either be the killer or you can be the survivor. Now, the survivor's job is actually make sure that they're not close enough to the killer. Otherwise, the killer could grab them and hook them. But the only way for the killer to actually hook them is actually hit them till they're on the ground like twice, then pick them up, then put them on the hook. Now, even if with the survivor being on the hook, they do have a time that they could either like try hooking themselves, but then once the a spider piercing, whatever you want to think about it as, is about to be going to the chest, they basically have to mash the button to actually make sure that it doesn't pierce them, which of course it will, but they're basically struggling until another survivor unhooks them. Now, normally it being hooked, you could be hooked once and that's it, or twice and then immediately on the second one that's it. But sometimes on the second one you're immediately struggling. But other than that, it's been different. But of course, the survivor's job is actually to repair, like, depending how many players there are. Like if you're playing with 4, I mean, of course, a max of 4 survivors, 5 generators and whatnot. And then all you basically have to do after repairing the generators is going to one of the exit doors and actually holding the button to open it. And then you just have to escape through that, which is basically very easy. And I basically put this way over Friday the 13th because most people in Friday the 13th as Jason, they would just continuously slash you without grabbing you, I guess. And it was like, I get it. I mean, it is a slasher game as Jason and stuff, but I like the chance to give them whenever I just basically grab them. But either way, some of the times it's just very annoying. But back to Dead by Daylight. In here, you're immediately dropped to the ground and stuff, and that's basically that. Killers do have some advantages with traps and whatnot that they could actually do. Some of them are basically like bear traps. Some of them makes the killer spawn right near them if they're near it, and it's been one cool game for it. And it actually has DLCs that you could actually be as other famous killers, but they don't. I mean, some of them are like copyright claimed names, so they couldn't actually put the names, but they actually put the description of, like, a quick description of like what it is. Like, Leatherface is basically the cannibal. They even have the Demogorgon from Stranger Things on there, and that name is there, the Demogorgon. And being as one of those survivor games, I love how it is because you could do like almost anything that you could think about of that game, and it's like really fun. I like the different styles of the maps that they actually choose, and sometimes it's either going to be tough or it's going to be very easy, and either way, I have no problems with it. So that's why this game is sitting in the number 2 spot.
Number 1!
Now is the time for the spooky, scary Halloween video game out there. The number 1 spot goes to Left 4 Dead 2. Who else would not put this on their list? And who would not actually want to put this as their top 1? I mean, think about it. 4 survivors in a zombie apocalypse, and they all know how to like basically shoot and kill and whatnot. And it's like a very long adventure to actually escape the whole apocalypse of the place. I mean, they're not the only 4 that is really living, because think about it. There was already a helicopter that flew away in the start. There was already like a ship with the with like a ship captain or whatnot, helping them move to another location. Basically, they basically have like so much stuff that was out there. But hey, another thing about it, 3 of the original Left 4 Dead characters made an appearance in one of the missions. And I actually had so much fun with this. There are some slight issues that I do have with it, but it's not one that I'm always going to be pointing out. It's like, oh, they need to fix this right away and whatnot. It's like, no, there's actually nothing very wrong with it. What I do like as well is that whenever you could do online, you could actually play as the zombies going after it. And the reason why that I decided to choose number 2 over number 1 is because they actually had more of the major infected on there, just by like 2, I believe. I think it was like 2 or something. I forgot. But either way, the map layouts are really, really good, and I just love how the DLCs are in it. And if you're playing on PC like how I do, the mods even make it a lot better, because you can actually play through custom maps and actually change the zombies for, I don't know, something random. Like, I could have like 1,300 Diddy Kongs as the common infected and whatnot. There's like so much stuff that I could say about this, but I'm not trying to actually have this as a review. I'm actually trying to have it as my opinion for this top 10 list. With number 1 being Left 4 Dead 2, you could tell that this is one of the best games out there to play, and we're still hoping for Left 4 Dead 3. We don't know when we'll have it, but who knows? It could happen. So that's actually my top 10 list for scary, spooky Halloween video games out there. So if you actually have like your own top 10, leave it in the comments section. Tell me if there was actually anything that you would have actually changed of my list. Maybe swap some of the places or whatnot, or remove one for a different game. Who knows? But either way, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, and also comment and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you don't miss another upload. Once again, this is Rain for Rain Plays Games. See you next time.